Hello and welcome back. This will be day 4 of classroom setup, which I thought was only going to take 3 days, but I keep finding more things that we need to do. So I'm back in the classroom today. I brought my sister with me to get some work done, and we're just going to get to it. I really want to get this wall put together. I went and bought some contact paper last night because I realized that if I'm going to be hanging this up, if I have paper on this, then the shelf would be hanging from the paper, which is not a sturdy way to mount anything. So my goal is to get this hung up, which means I have to figure out how to get the contact paper up, which means I might need to take the maps down, which I will try to avoid doing, but they are technically, and I'm really impressed by this, only mounted with masking tape, and somehow they've managed to stay up the whole time, so that's pretty impressive. Anyway, here we go. Well, I just realized I'm gonna have to make an executive decision about my library. Last year, I found a bunch of stickers and tried to sticker code the books so that people would know which box to put them back into. But since then, I've gotten a lot of books and gotten rid of several books, and they're not all sticker coded anymore, which means I either have to redo that or not do it at all and just hope for the best. So I'll have to decide how much effort I want to put into keeping the library organized, or if I just don't care that much. So sometimes when you start projects in your classroom, you learn all sorts of interesting things. For example, I just discovered that the reason this room gets so cold in the winter is that this wall, look at this, is literally just fabric with plaster over it to cover up the cinder blocks that are back there and the crayons that my children drop down the holes. That's not good for hanging things on either. Unfortunate. All right, so we got the headphone rack installed. It was not put together very well, so we had to add a bunch of hot glue to the seal here so that they actually seal together. And we've also realized that if I put anything on here, this is a little too flimsy. So we're going to need to go to the store and buy one more bracket to put in the middle just to kind of support all the headphones. But we think all of them should fit along here. So then I just have to decide if I want to zip tie the cords or tie them up at all or just leave them hanging. And that will be kind of a matter of how it looks and how much time I feel like I have on my hands. So now that that's done, my goal today is actually to get everything on this black list done. So the headphone rack is finished, and I'm going to do the letters and fix my black shelf, which when I was moving, I totally destroyed. I knocked the screw out of up here and the back is falling off, so the whole thing is just kind of a little bit of a mess. So I'm going to fix that and then put the letters on my word wall. So I was smart and took the books off the bookshelf while I moved it out, but I didn't take my letters out, and now I broke them. When moving bookshelves, remove everything from the shelf first. Trust me, it works better that way. So good news, these were actually super easy to get up. I only erased the letters like 6 times before I was satisfied with those again. And then the letters on the word wall, you could actually still see the outline of them from last year, so I just traced them, which is nice because last year I know I spent forever trying to make them all look like the same font. So that worked out really nicely. Okay, so we figured out how to hang the headphone rack with an extra piece of hardware that I had from some other shelves, but it's not quite strong enough, so we're still gonna have to go to the store and get a different one. But they do all fit, so that's awesome. Currently, we are working on some posters, a voice level poster and an I'm Done Now What poster, because I had some last year, but they were pretty rough. So I'm making new ones, and then we'll put up the shelf, and I think that will be it for today. That's the last of the big things on my list. Everything else is kind of minor, putting stuff away. And with any luck, someday they will come and remove the junk from my room so I can actually visualize this space. So we had to restart on the poster because I accidentally did an O instead of a C. So that's fun. So while she takes care of that, I'm over here measuring the contact paper, which will cover up my hideously useless chalkboards here. It's really annoying because they're not only brown and ugly, but they're not even magnetic. So I can't even use them for anything. They're just to be covered up, and then I have all this black framing on the wall. Anyway, good news. This contact paper, the length of it is perfect for the height that I need to cover. It'll go just under the maps and flush with the bottom. So I'm measuring that out. I just cleaned off the surface, and then this is just a peel and stick. So I'm just going to measure and cut this and then peel and stick. All right, we got the contact paper and the rain gutter bookshelf up. The bookshelf is warped, but such is your fate when you buy cheap rain gutter from Home Depot. So this will hold all of my seasonal books or my read right now or check out this book instead of having baskets on top of my shelf like I did before. I think I'm going to end up using that contact paper to help me redo this board, but I'm not positive. I'm going to use the bigger lights here. This wall is all done because I got those letters on, and we hung up all the headphones in the back room. This poster's a little bit of a work in progress, but I think we're going to call it quits for today. Some days you come into work in your classroom and you could stay here for hours and hours and hours because you just want to get things done. And other days you come in and you last 30 minutes before you're already sick of it and want to go home. And today was closer to one of those days. So we got good things done. Most everything on my list is finished. And I'm kind of over it. So we're going to leave and I'm going to finish cutting out labels while I watch TV tonight. But other than that, I'm going to be done for today. Anyway, I will be back again to finish setting up later. So don't forget to subscribe so you can see the next video in this series. And I will see you next time. See ya.